here with Vicky of Allstate. How are you today, Vicky?
I'm wonderful, thank you. How are you today, Patrice?
I'm well, thank you. So we just came out of an amazing keynote session during lunch, and we learned about the purple purse, and I would love for you to talk to us about that more.
Oh, I'd love to. You know, I work for Allstate, and we believe that corporations should do more in society to tackle some of the most pressing problems. And the Allstate Foundation about 10 years ago noticed that 1 in 4 women experiences domestic violence in her lifetime. And in 99% of all domestic violence cases, financial abuse is what keeps a woman trapped in that relationship. So because we're a financial services company, we thought, you know what, we can do something about this.
Yes.
So we launched the Purple Purse campaign, and a real core part of that campaign is a curriculum that we created for survivors.
Okay.
And it's designed to directly address the very specific situations that a domestic violence survivor experiences.
So I know I wrote down a statistic. It said 99% of, I guess, domestic abuse involve financial abuse. So that was very interesting to me because I never thought of it that way. You know, I guess that, I guess the abuser uses that as leverage over the person that's being abused. So can you talk to us more of that?
Sure. Well, domestic violence is all about power and control. You know, one person exerting power and control over another person.
Yes.
And the unfortunate thing about financial abuse is it is so prevalent. It's like this invisible weapon that an abuser decides to use to control.
So my next question is, talk to us about where we can see the film, because I know that's a major piece, for you all.
Sure. Well, the film will be on purplepurse.com, and it's really intended to get more people talking about domestic violence. Because we feel that because it's a societal issue and not just a woman's issue, that we need everyone to be talking about it and coming together to saying, violence is not okay, financial abuse is not okay, and we need to all agree to put an end to it.
Yes,
nobody gets a pass.
Right. So I wrote a book a couple years ago, and one of my co-authors actually experienced, the abuse of her husband. So she was able to get out of it. So I think a lot of times the people that are involved with it, they feel as though there aren't enough resources out there. So I guess talk to us about how women are going through, if they're going through this, how they can reach out and they can get additional assistance from you all.
Yeah, that's a great question. When we first launched Purple Purse, we created the website to look like a fashion website, so that if a victim was looking for resources on what are ways for her to safely leave a relationship, how do you create a plan, the abuser, came and was looking over her shoulder, wouldn't notice that it really was that kind of a site. And it looked like it would be something you'd be shopping off of.
Oh, very nice.
So it was kind of like a stealth way of providing the necessary information that victims need to get out of a bad relationship. They always tell us that the most dangerous time for a victim is when she is getting ready to leave an abusive relationship.
Wow.
So having a plan, being safe, is really, really important.
Yes, And how can people like myself and others that are watching this help support you all in your mission?
Well, I'd love to ask everyone first to educate themselves about the signs of domestic violence and financial abuse. And then start asking yourself questions like we asked at the end of the film. Like, what would you do if you knew somebody was experiencing domestic violence and financial abuse? How would you handle it? It's not easy to talk about domestic violence. Most people think it's a private matter and something you should just leave behind closed doors. But there are millions of women that almost feel like prisoners in their homes because they are being restrained from leaving because of this financial, ties. So it's educate yourself, talk to other people, and then we'd love to ask everyone to participate in our Purple Purse Challenge, where every fall we ask nonprofits that provide domestic violence services to join a campaign, our campaign, and then we raise money for domestic violence organizations.
That's awesome.
Because here's one more stat you can keep in, that on any average day, 12,000 calls for help go unanswered. So there aren't enough services out there today in the system to handle this demand. 1 in 4 women experiencing domestic violence in their lifetime. So we're trying to raise money to help those organizations shore up their services.
That's really good. And I also feel like this, your organization, your foundation for what you all are doing is good for family members and friends of suspected abusers, because a lot of times they're scared to get involved because they feel like the abuser will, attack them or try to come after them, or if the, the person, the victim that's being abused will stay after they've tried to help. So what advice can you give to those individuals?
Don't give up.
Okay.
Something that practically every family or friend of a victim that I've talked to has said, we all knew something was going on, but we didn't know what to say. And had we said something, our loved one might be with us today.
Wow, that's good.
So it's just don't give up.
Yes. And also, you all gave us this lovely charm here, and you told me that on the back of each of these is a story of a survivor.
Yes.
So I think that is amazing, and this is something that we should all wear proudly, put on our purse. If people ask, okay, well, what is that? That's the time to inform someone new of this and tell them where to go, where they can help. Yes,
absolutely.
It's lovely, and I like the color of it. Of course, purple. I think it's beautiful. So.
Well, purple is the color of the domestic violence movement.
Yes.
And the purse is like iconic as a symbol of a woman's economic empowerment.
Okay, very good.
And we think that's a solution.
It is, definitely. And what else can you tell us before we go in regards to the foundation?
I would just ask that everybody get involved in the movement to end domestic violence, and especially financial abuse. Sometimes it's a matter of having the right conversation. Yes. And getting involved, helping raise money, and not giving up. Right. Offering hope.
That's good. And then before we go, also tell us where we can find more information.
Okay, purplepurse.com has all kinds of information, everything from tips on how to start a conversation to the curriculum that we've created to help victims repair their credit, learn how to do budgeting, learn how to apply for jobs, things like that. And it also has just anything you possibly think of in terms of educating yourself.
Well, very good. Well, thank you so much, Vicki. It's been a pleasure and an honor to speak with you today.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you so much, Patrice.
You're welcome.